Most traders don't fail because they lack strategy. They fail because they don't have structure. They enter trades emotionally, they break rules under pressure, and halfway through the year, they realize that they're still repeating the same old habits. This workshop is not about finding another indicator. It's about rebuilding the trader behind the chart. That's you. Over the next 3 days, we're going to identify your trading style, build your rules, and develop the discipline needed to trade consistently in this market. If you're tired of emotional trading, inconsistency, and feeling lost every time the market shifts, then this series is for you. Get your pen and pad and get ready to build your trading style. Let's go. My goal is simply to share knowledge and tools and strategies that I have learned along the way, and maybe they can help you as well. Does that sound good? All right, man. Today is going to be day number 1. And basically what we're going to focus on is defining your trading goals, setting your risk tolerance, building your account allocation framework, clarifying your trading identity, and anchoring, which is important, anchoring and your why. So basically, I want to make sure that everybody has the tools that they need. Notebook and pen. We're not just here to listen and look. We're going to write. If you got a calculator, you might need that too for quick math. We ready? First question you want to ask yourself. Define your trading goal. Why are you trading? Are you trading for growth? Are you trading for income? Or are you just trying to be consistent? Marinate on that for a minute. Why are you trading? Consistency. If you're trading for growth, you might say to yourself, man, I got $20,000. I want to grow this 20 to 100K. That's your goal. That's your focus. Now put a plan and a strategy together on how to do that. We want to know why we're investing. You could say, man, I just want to invest for income. What does that look like? Man, I just want to pull $200 a week profit out of the market. I'm comfortable with that. I want to pull 500K out of the market a year. What does that look like? Or you want to be consistent. You're not greedy. You're not aggressive. But if your money can give you 5 to 10% returns monthly, you cool with that. Whatever investment strategy that's going to do for you. So right now, go ahead and put that pen to paper. What is your investment goals? Growth, income, consistency, all three. You can have as many portfolios as possible. But what is going to be your strategy? Define your trading goals. Some examples that we were saying. I want to turn my 5K account into 20K. Within 2 years, you definitely want to put a time limit on that. It's going to make you a little more aggressive, make you a little more hungry, make you dial in your strategy a little more. Sometimes it takes specific strategies to get the numbers that you're looking for. We putting them that pen to paper?
I am.
Yes.
I don't know what they're doing.
And I know that you love to give us documents. Will we get a copy of this?
I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
I know that you.
So just to let y'all know that, I am in tune. I have my own notes as well that I've been writing. I am trading for growth. I want to scale my account from 10K to 100K in 1.5 years. And then from there, I want the 100K to 500K in 2 years. That's my mindset, growth. That's what I'm gonna focus on. I have my plan, my goals, and then we're gonna be implementing a strategy on how I can get that done. All right, we're gonna keep it moving, keep it moving. Hope y'all got something wrote down on paper. Let's go. Risk tolerance. What percent of your account are you willing to risk on a single trade? What does that look like? What percentage of your account are you willing to risk on a trade? And you want to focus on percentages and not dollars, but then at the same time, you want to know what those dollars look like. So if you have 25K, you want to invest into the market. You want to trade. We're speaking more on trade. How much of that 25 do you want to put in the market? Keep in mind, you want to think in terms of, I'm willing to lose this if it goes south. You want 1% of that 25K? You want 5% of that 25K? Now, 1% is not aggressive. So you're sitting on 25K, but you're only willing to invest 1% of it in the market. If y'all been out there with plays, you know, you're not going to get too many plays with that amount, but you're not going to lose a lot either. So that's going to boil down to your risk tolerance. For people that have small accounts, you might say, I got $2,500. I'm only willing to risk 2%. That's only $50. But in your mind, $50 is a lot of money. So you got to find a trade that you can buy with $50 and flip it. Because your risk tolerance is, I don't want to lose no more than 2% of my trade. So are we writing? Are we getting something down on paper? We're not here to look and listen, baby. Real time, we working. For me, I'm willing to risk 15% of my account in a trade. And that's based on me playing 20K. See what those numbers look like. 15%. Because I've been in the market, I know nice plays. You can get nice plays around 11, 12. And if you get in at the right entry, nice returns. But once again, everybody might not be there. That's why you have to establish your risk tolerance. And even putting a percentage in, you put a percentage in based on how much money you got. So 1% of 1,000 looks totally different than 1% of 5,000. Hey, Billy, 90% okay. It's your risk tolerance. It's your money. That you saying that you're willing to lose that if it goes south. Nothing wrong with that. That's your risk tolerance. I have been down 90% in the play. Sat in it and it came back. Do all of them come back? No. How long are you willing to sit in it? All right. I like that. I like that. Some examples of those small accounts. Like I said, large accounts, man, 50K, 1%. 1% of 50K, you can do something with that. You can do something with that. But like I consider myself a little aggressive. This example here is 5%. Like I said 15% of 20K. I'm willing to put that in. High risk, high reward. But you still want to leave some money on the table, just in case the play does go south. Hey, but my man said he down with 90%. If he lose that, he either got to put more money in or he gonna stop playing the game. Me personally, I don't want to put no more money in. So I do want to leave a little something on the back end just in case it goes south. And then I still got some re-up money left to get back in. How we feeling? 40%. Okay. We aggressive in here. I like that.
I haven't
scared nobody, but scared money don't make no money.
I haven't figured it out yet. You know, it's like I'm an all-in type of guy. You know, like every week I get paid, I put 20%. You know what I'm saying, of my check in my account every week. So it's like every week you know what I'm saying? That's how I do.
That's good. Nothing wrong with that. Now me, I'm operating off of I put money in one time and I'm playing with that money.
Okay.
Now, from what you're saying, yeah, you got, residual money coming in continuously going into the market. You still don't have to touch that though, but it's there if you need it. But you definitely want to go ahead and get it out of your bank account and get it into the investment portfolio and just let it sit there. So even though you got 100 a week, 200 a week, whatever the case may be coming in consistently, but you're already playing with 20,000 in the market, continue to play with that 20,000, grow that 20,000. Because I have a cash account and then the portfolio where the money is working and then money is sitting on the side to invest in a play.
Yeah.
So yeah, nothing wrong with that. So yeah, my thing is, hey, if you got 25 over there, how much of that 25 are you gonna play? Now you probably play the whole 25 because in your mind, you still got residual money still coming in.
Yeah, see, and
that can trick your mind sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's kind of like a trap as well, you know what I'm saying? Because I be feeling like, shoot, if I lose it, you know what I'm saying, it's all right because I'm steady putting money in there every week, but I don't want to do that.
Exactly. Well, you can keep putting the money in, but you ain't got to use it. See,
Yeah,
that's going to be a mindset shift there.
Yeah.
That's all that is. Ain't nothing wrong with what you're doing, but you got to have that mindset shift now.
Okay.
Stick with the 25 or whatever the case may be. Continue to flip it. And that money that you're putting in really need to be sitting on the side for some buy and hold. You got your trade money and you got your buy and hold. So all that extra money you got coming in just need to be sitting on the side for a good buy and hold dip opportunity. You're still going to use it that way. But if you lose a trade and you don't lost, 50% of your trade, don't say, well, man, let me go over here and get it out of here. That's your buy and hold money. You can keep doing that, but go ahead and establish a hard concrete number, man. 25, 30, whatever the case may be. Like I said, I've been playing with 20. And I'm up and down, flipping 20 to 30, 30 to 40, come back down, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. But I haven't played with any more new money. Now, any new money I get is coming out of the game and sitting on the side for more buy and hold. Okay. Or increase my trade levels.
Mindset shift I need. All right. I'll write that down.
Got it? Got it?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to move on to question number 3, baby. Question number 3. We're getting our rules together, man. I like that. The account allocation rule. This goes back to what we were just talking about, buy and hold, cash, options. How are you going to allocate your plays? You got $50,000. How much of that 50 is in buy and hold? How much of that is cash sitting on the side, ready for whatever? And how much are you trading with? Account allocation rule. You can go 60, 30, 10. You can go 50, 50. You can go 80. There's a number of ways there, but you might have a portfolio where it's just options. You might have a portfolio where you're mixing the options and cash and buy and hold. How you going to divvy that up? You need to know that. That way you ain't out here freestyling. I'm telling you, man, when that market is open and you in them options chain, sometimes all your rules go out the window. Because now you're excited, your emotions done kicked in. And if you didn't have any rules to begin with, yeah, you all over the place. So that's why we're here.
I learned in April. I learned in April. I'm slow rolling right now.
I ain't mad at that. So some examples. Now, what I wrote for me, 50% stocks, 30% options, 20% cash on the side. Just in case you get one of those major dips like we had in April, you got a little cash that we can, like the AMAT play, you got a little cash left that you can do a nice average down, provided that you got the time. Sometimes the average down don't make sense if you don't have the time. And sometimes you got the time, but you ain't got the money. Why? Because you done bought too much dip and you done ran out of chip.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to keep a little cash on the side. That's a part of these rules right here. Writing those rules down. Man, I got to keep some cash on the side. And if you got some cash on the side and you're ready to deploy it, that's going to mean what? That's going to mean you're going to come below your number of cash that you're supposed to have on the side. So you either got to sell something. If you want to really stick to your rules, you got to sell something to put that money into a new option play and rotate stuff around. That's the type of stuff you got to look at in real time. Account allocation rule. All right. Let's move on to the next one. We writing stuff down. Everybody got their notebook, pencil?
Mm-hmm.
We working? All right. Do you see yourself as a day trader, swing trader, or long-term investor, or hybrid? What does that look like? Your trading identity style. What are you? Why are you here? What does that look like? When it comes to day traders, man, it's lots of activity, higher stress, more time in the market, knowing price action, knowing how to read candles. If you're really trying to make some money, you can make some quick money day trading, but you can lose it also. And you really got to be tapped in. Are you that trader? Or you're a swing trader? You like to hold your plays for a little while. 1 month, 2 month, 1 week, 2 week. Requires a little speed and patience, but you can be a swing trader. Long term, leaps, low maintenance, but definitely wealth building. Leaps, long term, but definitely wealth building. When you get in the right play, the right entry, bought enough time to watch it go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Or you could be a hybrid guy. That's where you're going to swing quality. You're kind of doing a little bit of both. You're swinging quality stocks, swings, And then you might do some high momentum trades, the ones that are moving. You're trading off momentum. You're not going to be in there long. It could run for a day or two. Good for about 30, 40% profit. Get you a little money and get out. Not necessarily day trading. You could get in and out same day. But it might take a day and a half, 2 days, do a nice little swing from the time you got in, 30 or 40%, get out. You could be that hybrid. What type of day trader are you? Write it down, establish it, own it. All right, man. Did we write down our trading style?
Mm-hmm.
Day trader, we swing traders, we leap traders.
Swing / long term.
All right. Own it. Own it. Know what that looked like. All right, moving on to the next question. Time commitment rule. I think a lot of people have problems right here. Because all this other stuff we're doing, if you don't do this, it don't really matter. How much time you willing to realistically dedicate to this game? I know a lot of people that join the Patreon, we might take Saturday off, or some people, you know, they practice charting on Saturday, Sunday. Everybody's deep in the charts or reading books on Sunday. You know, that's a part of scheduling some time for the game. What are you doing to commit time in this game? That's the only way you're going to get better. You need to write that down. You need to own it. Put it on your calendar. Now, for me, I can honestly say what I wrote down is what I do exactly. I commit 1 hour in the morning before the market opens, because there's 1 or 2 plays that I'm going to be looking at. So I chart it, look at it, play with it, write my levels. That's 1 hour. And then I can spend 3 nights a week just reviewing setups, because I'm a pattern guy, you know, looking for cup and handles, bull flags, bear flags. I'm looking for those setups. So, you know, throughout the week, I look in different plays, or people call out tickers. I said, let me see what it's doing. Some people ask me, you know, hey man, check this one out. Somebody in one of my other groups asked me to look at Google. And I don't even trade Google, but I thought it was phenomenal, some of the stuff I saw on there. So yeah, 3 times a week, looking at setups, 1 hour every morning before the market open. That's my time and commitment rule. And I've been following that to the T.
You do it 3 nights a week. How much time do you spend doing it each time?
It's probably an hour. Just depends. Sometimes I'm on there too long because I only want to look at 1 or 2. But if you ever seen me post some of my charting in the Patreon, I want to make sure it looks nice so everybody can read it and understand it. So I'll take a little extra time on it and then write out all the notes so y'all can see what I can see if you understand the game. I know some of this stuff still Greek to some people. I mean, when I first started doing it, I constantly listened to people, but a lot of the terms that they were saying went over my head for a minute until I really started dialing in. And then you get that aha moment. So if you're new and that you're not there yet, you will get that aha moment when it all clicks. And I hear a lot of people slowly in the chats every now and then. I got it. I remember when I couldn't get it. I remember when I didn't understand this, but it's been 3 weeks now. Now I finally get it. If you don't get it, still continue to commit, put that time. It will click. I know we're moving real fast in the Patreon for some of the new people, but stay dialed in, because all the stuff we're talking about, you're going to end up visiting it and running into it. Then you're going to be like, oh, that's what they were saying. That's going to happen to you. Time commitment rule. Make sure y'all dedicate some time. Write it down. Put it on your calendar. Own it. All right. Moving along. Emotional triggers. Emotional triggers. Some of y'all very emotional out there. You need to understand your emotions. Fear, greed, impatience. What Ozell say? This is a patient man's game. That is no lie. You want to know why that's so important? Because that goes back to what I was saying about 3 times a week, I'm reviewing my setups. Some of those setups take weeks. If you're looking at the weekly, the daily, the monthly, it takes time for those setups to come. And you just have to be patient. If you see them when a bull flag starts, if you see it, the bull flag, the candles are going down. The candles are going down on the bull flag. You see it. You don't exactly know where the bottom is, but man, this is in a bull flag. Pretty soon, these candles are going to break out to the upside. And you just studying the setup and say, boom, I'm going to get in right here. It could go down a little more, but it's a bull flag. So you almost at the bottom. You're not totally at the bottom, but you almost at the bottom. Because from that bull flag, boom, we're going to get a breakout to the upside. And those setups take time. So we at the top of the bull flag and done bought in. Now everybody looking at the stock going down. You hear everybody in the chat, man, what's going on with Netflix, man? Somebody need to put Netflix on some life support, man, revive it or something. All they're doing is going in the bull flag. If you're looking at the parity, you can see it going down. And then boom, it's going to shoot up at some point. How long the bull flag is, we don't know. Some of them short, 2 or 3 candles. Some of them could be 4 or 5 candles and then shoot up. That's all the bull flag is. Down movement, boom, shoot up. And it can only shoot up about 2 or 3 candles once you understand that. So patience. Got to have that. Get those emotions in check.
Can I ask you something about greed?
Say again?
Can I ask you something about greed?
Greed?
Yeah, greed. It says
Yeah, go ahead.
greed. Fear, greed, impatience, FOMO, the greed part. How do you know when you're being greedy? If you're playing, if you're playing, I mean, if you're in a play that is on the right track, you kind of have a good feeling about it. You do have 3 contracts. I'm struggling with, man, I believe in this play. I really want to leave my 3 contracts in there and let it play out. But then at the same time, I'm going, is that being greedy? Should I just take take some of my profits now? And, that I'm struggling with that part of it. It doesn't feel greedy, but yet I get the concept of, giving my account back some money to level up and all of that. But that feeling of greed is what I'm struggling with, because I don't feel greedy, but yet is it greedy?
All right, check this out. How much do you normally play with?
Well,
Play?
specifically like this Apple play. Apple's I got into a long-term play. I'm in May 2026. That thing, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I have 3 contracts in it, so I'm trying to go, do I sell one of them? Do I keep all 3 of them? I want to play till it's a little while longer. I believe in the play. I'm watching it closely. Is that being greedy? Or you get what I'm saying? Like,
Well, with me and what I tell everybody, before you even get in, you already know what you want to get out. If you don't know what you want to get out of it, you need to write that down.
Okay.
Like I said, most of my plays, I'm cool with 50%. Now you can some of them get to 50% and get exhausted, and you start seeing it slow down and come back. Uber does this all the time. Uber does this all the time. Now, I've been holding Uber because I know it's supposed to hit 100. but it hit 98 3 times and came all the way back to 94. I took profit 2 times on it, but I should have took, because it did about 4 times. I should have took profit every time it hit 98, because I knew it was going to come back down to 96 and get it, and I can get back in. You're going to make way more money.
Yeah, okay. The get back in thing is what I'm not thinking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of people struggle with that because, be honest with you, you don't want to go back through the option chain and pick, and I get all that.
Well, not only that, you just don't know if it's going to go down further, and then your entry, now you got to really anticipate the right entry again. And you felt like you got in a good entry back then. And yeah, but it's the getting back in thing that I'm not really putting into the equation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me
They
too.
go up and down. They go up and down. Uber, like I said, a very good example of that. But I like to know what I'm going to get out of it before I even get in. If I buy a 2K play, I'm okay with, hey man, I'm good with 40% or more. Now, if the stock is doing good and it goes past 40%, but if it's sitting there, it makes 40% and then it's sitting there consolidating at 40, it's probably getting ready to turn around. And then I'll go ahead and take profit and get back in. If you're charting and looking at the levels, and if it's at 40% and it's at this certain stock price, you can kind of see where it's going to go back to. And if it's going to go back to a level where it's going to be nice, where you can get back in and ride back up for some additional profits. Because if you get back in, it's probably going to cost a little more, but you got more money on it to get in the new play again. So I always say, know how much you want to get out of it before you even get in. And I go as far as soon as I get into play, I calculate okay, I want 75% out of this thing. I bought enough time on it, so I'm pretty sure to get 75%.
Okay.
Might be a month, and I already, ran my premiums. Yeah, y'all know how that works, right? The premiums. So
No.
if you paid $10 premium, and I'm cool with 50%. So all I got to do is go ahead and set my limit order to sell at 15, and just let it run. I might bought a 6-month contract expiration, and I don't feel like watching it no more. But I'm comfortable with 50%. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my limit order. I'm not gonna watch it no more. If you get to 50%, boom, it'll sell. The cash will be sitting in my account. I hadn't lost any money. I'm comfortable with that. I ran the numbers. I'm comfortable with that. Now, if you don't set any limit orders or stop losses and all that other good stuff, I don't do stop losses, but just knowing what you want to get out of the play and write that number down and honor it. Now, if that thing taking off, by all means, let it stay. If your number was 50 and it mess around and get 65 and then it starts slowing down, boom, now you got 65 instead of 50. You got more than what you wanted.
I'm talking like 200. So I got 3 contracts and I'm up 200, and I'm trying to figure out, do I keep all 3 contracts in there or do I take one? Am I being greedy? Because I already know I think it's going to go longer.
Okay, 200%.
Yeah.
Well, what you looking for then?
Huh?
What you looking for? You don't have a rule.
Girl, you better run.
That's great.
See, is that greed? See, that's what I'm saying. Is that greed?
Yeah, that's great.
It doesn't feel greedy.
Now, if you still want to look at the play and you still got some time on it, yeah, I would sell 2
contracts. At least sell 2 contracts.
So I did sell one.
You still got.
I did sell one, and I'm in it till May, but I did sell one, but I didn't want to sell it. I sold it because I felt like I should, I felt like that was
at least get your 100% out of it.
Get your 100%, and if you have other contracts, if you have 3 contracts, once you make back what you put into it, take the profit off of that, because the worst thing that can happen is remember, we're still, although things have slowed down, we're not in April, right? April was just an unprecedented time, but at any given moment, like Trump can say something, and where you up 200%, that 200% could quickly drop down to 100%. Now you almost at your break even number. You know what I'm saying? So at least cash out one and be cool with that. It is greedy, but I think also as a new investor, we're still trying to find our sweet spot.
Right.
And but the worst thing you want to do is be up, because being up 200% and then the play starts to fall and then you drop down to 150, that 50% is going to kill you, because you're going to know in your mind, I was up 200%. I should have got out of it. So at least sell one, and then whatever the rest of the contracts do, all that is just extra. When you see it start dipping, then take your money out. And like they say, you can always re-enter at a new price. But 200%, that's super. I was up 300% my very first trade. It was an Apple play. I didn't know nothing about it. I was gambling, but I was up over 300%. I paid $25 for like 3 contracts. I made like $1,000 off of that. That was during the time that Trump was talking about Taiwan. He said something about Taiwan. That contract, it ended up going down to 0, and then it never recovered. I was up over 300%. Take my word for it. Get your money
Okay.
and go back in. Yeah, get your money.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. Thank you
If
all.
You're welcome.
if you up 200%, I would take out at least what you invested in plus the profit, and then now it's house money. You playing with house money at this point. You let it run.
Out at least what you invested in plus
Now,
the
Nisi,
profit.
you probably want to do the
now it's
level.
house money.
So from what me listening to it sounds like you started out with 3 contracts.
Yes.
So I did this with Walmart. I had about 3 or 4. So at 100%, I knew it was going to get over 200%, but at 100%, I sold one. And then at 150%, I sold the other. And then I just continued to let that last one ride.
Okay.
So, and that way you still got some skin in the game. And
Gotcha.
guess what that last one did? It fell all the way back down to my original entry.
Whoa.
But hey, I made money off of it already. But guess what I did after that? Bought 2 more contracts and got back in with the one that was running, because it still had a ton of time on it.
Yeah, it's the getting back in thing that I'm leaving out of the equation. Yeah.
Now, had I left all 3 in there and let all 3 of them come back down,
Yeah.
but that one runner, the house money, came all the way back down to the original entry.
Now you want me? Now I want to sell both of them and just get out. All right. Thank you all very much. I appreciate that.
All right. That was good. That was good. That conversation we just had. FOMO makes people chase. Fear makes people exit early on green trades. And greed makes people hold losses too long. Just want you to be aware of what your emotions are, and let's work on getting them in check. And understand, like she understood, I'm greedy. I'm greedy. Understand what you are so you can work on strategies to combat that. Same thing with fear. I hear a lot of people, man, I knew I should have played that play. It did everything I thought it was going to do, but you was too scared to jump into play.
All the time.
You charted it. You saw the levels. You was too scared to even put it on paper trade.
Man,
Fear.
I did that the other day.
Hey, and that FOMO though, I was guilty of that when I first joined, because every play that trap drop, I felt like I had to get in it. So I'm selling. I ain't have the money, so I'm selling one to get in the new one. I didn't even let the first one manifest. You got to quickly get out of that. You do not have to be in every one of Trap's plays. All right, next question. Question number 7. Everybody got that wrote down?
Yeah. Q7.
Discipline. Now here, you want to write some type of quote down, something that's going to motivate you, spark you to get back on track, just in case you fall off track. You want to write down a specific quote. You want to write down a rule, something that you can read back to yourself when times get tough and your patience gets tested. Anchors remind you of the big picture when emotions arise. We want to let those feelings get in the way. You want to remember why you're doing what you're doing. You want to go back and read whatever you wrote down. It could be an affirmation, could be a sticky note, could be something that you put in your journal. Discipline anchors. Now, me personally, with you guys, when y'all get tested, Trap's mantra is golden. There's things outside of the mantra, but if you can't think of anything on your own, the trapping tools that he just did when he talked about, all those different things that he wrote down, and he had to narrow it down, and those were the most powerful. That's what you can be doing, pulling some of those out. And once again, putting it in your notebook, writing it down. Man, writing is inviting, man. That's why I really wanted everybody to have notebooks, man. What the good books say, write the vision down and make it plain.
That's
Write the vision down and make it plain. If I see your goals on paper and I understand them and I see you fall off, I can motivate you to get back on track because I know what you're trying to do. Write the vision down and make it plain. That's why I type a lot of stuff in the chat. Some of it be for entertainment, but some of it be for me. It's almost like my journal. Because now I got to own it. The chat is almost like my journal. When I'm putting stuff in there, when I see what I see, could go right, could go wrong. So what's going to be some of our emotional anchors? Keep us in check. If Trap can do it, why not me? That's one of mine. Another one of mine is, this is a patient man's game. I never let a green play turn red. I am more than capable of operating this machine. Whenever I get tested, I feel like, man, what happened? What went wrong? Those are my notes right there. That's going to anchor me and get me back in. Write down your discipline anchors. How we doing so far?
We good, right and fast.
Right, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. You're not here for me, you're here for yourself. That's step one right there. All right, we're going to move on to our next question. This is going to be the last question. This is going to be so powerful. I'm going to need y'all to really lock in right here. Lock in. You can't give no fluff answer right here. Can't be basic. Why are you trading? Why are you here? What is we doing? Is it a hobby? You heard it was fun. You heard you could make a lot of money. You heard you could lose a lot of money. You heard you can get rich in a day. Why are you here? And it's more than just generational wealth, freedom. You need to put some context behind that. What does freedom look like for you? You need to write it down. Write the vision down. Make it plain. You here to make a certain amount of money? How much money is that? You here for generational wealth? How many generations are you trying to impact? Write the vision down and make it plain. If nothing else keeps you trading, what you put here should keep you in the game. When you get battle tested, you got to be able to come back here. If you come back here and it don't mean nothing, you're going to quit trading. Your goals got to be high. Easy goals. Nobody accomplish your easy goals. Your goals got to be high. Freedom. What does freedom look like? You know what freedom looks like for me? My number 8. My why. I initially started this thing when I was introduced to trap to learn the game so I can teach my kids. I wanted to know all about stocks, the verbiage, the terminologies, how to break down companies. I bought the course. That was my initial thing, to learn all that so I can teach my kids one-on-one in the game. So I got them involved in investing, and now I'm a little deeper. I love the game. It did not get boring to me. So now my major goal is to make 2 years of my income from my job. 2 years. I want to make 2 years of it. Then I'm done with the corporate world. And I'm sitting on 2 years of finances from my job that I normally live off of. And I got another year of money that now I'm investing. So as long as I stay 2 years ahead of the power curve, I can trade 100% of the time to make the same money I was making on my job, pay all my bills, and still increase my wealth, because I'm gonna make way more than my salary in this market, because that's my why. Freedom, baby. That's my freedom. What's your freedom, baby? Why? Why are you trading? I need y'all to put some context behind that. Don't fluff that. Anybody want to share theirs off the fly? Don't be shy. When you speak about it, you're going to make it real.
I want to create the freedom, but my freedom is being able to replace the income and have enough to, because I currently take care of my mom full time. So, and my dad also was recently diagnosed with dementia. So I have 2 parents that need pretty much around the clock care. So my goal is to replace my income, buy property so that I can put them in the property and then hire a nurse to be able to take care of them. That's my why.
Do y'all hear that? Now that is a strong why. See what I'm talking? Context. You know, she could have just put freedom, but what does freedom look like? She just broke it down. What does freedom look like for her? So on your paper, you writing, I'm trading because of freedom. What does freedom look like? I am free when all that she lined up. Like with me, I am free when I got 2 years of income from my job out of the stock market, and I'm ready to quit the game, get in the stock market full time, and continue to make income and build wealth from the market. And I plan to do that in the first 30 minutes of the market opening. That's how it's going to go down for me. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so my mom just passed away in June, and I was also a caregiver for her. So keep your head up, Diana. That's like the hardest work a person could do, and I was doing it for several years. So blessings to you. But I'm trading, number one, to improve my quality of life. I'm trading to improve the quality of life of those that I love. I have 2 children, and I want to be able to leave a legacy, and to be honest, a bag, so that I could help them even when I'm gone. I'm also trading because I'm very much interested in developing a second income that keeps my main profession intact. I am looking to. I have 4 years left on my contract at work, and I'm trying to establish a certain amount of income so that I don't have to renew that contract and I can leave the professional world. And finally, my last goal is to meet my retirement goals. I'm looking to purchase a home in the Caribbean on 4 acres of land, so I could be an old man in some tropical weather. And that's pretty much it for me.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Those are some strong whys, man. That's what's going to keep you in the game. And that's all we're saying, man. Good, strong whys. If something happens, is it going to make you quit? Or no, I can't quit because I got to get this done. I got to stay in the market so I can do this for family, friends, whatever case may be. So y'all got to have that strong why, man. Got to have it. I appreciate y'all testimonials for that last one. All right, anybody got any questions? We're going to close this thing out. I want you to ask yourself, what daily action can you commit to that will strengthen your discipline starting tomorrow? When challenges arise, how can you remind yourself that discipline is your key to success? Because at the end of the day, that's all we're trying to do here, practice discipline. It's one thing to put everything on paper. It takes discipline to execute. But we got to start somewhere. So we're starting with the writing because writing is inviting. And then you're going to have to work on your discipline. Like I said, I want to get out at 40%. I'm cool with 40% profit. But then I could get greedy and don't execute. I'm going to hold it a little longer. I'm going to hold it a little longer. I'm going to hold it a little longer. And then boom, Trump news, and I lose it all. Lost my 40% and then some. What daily action can you commit to that will strengthen your discipline tomorrow? Daily reminders on your calendar, alerts on your phone. What does that look like for you? Day 2 tomorrow. The rules are not over. This is just establishing us, our mentality, what motivates us, what triggers us. That's what was going on today. You got to get those rules in place for that. Tomorrow, we dive into some more rules when you're actually in the options chain. You got to have rules for that too. So make sure y'all tap in, make sure right here. We're coming right back here tomorrow.
Appreciate it, Davion.
All right, y'all. Y'all
Thanks,
stop
David.
laughing.
Thank you. Blessings.
Thanks a bunch.
Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Appreciate it for real.
Thanks, Davian.
Hold it down. I appreciate y'all.